Hey everyone, this past Tuesday, December 6th, was my 25th birthday, and I thought I would film a get ready with me / tutorial before work. So if you'd like to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. I'm going to start this look by using my e.l.f. lip exfoliator in Mint Maniac. I got this from my Vox box with Influencer, and I'm just going to put this on like a regular lipstick, and what it does is help exfoliate your lips by getting away dead skin cells, and then I just wiped it off. Now I'm going to just use an organic vanilla honey lip balm from Whole Foods and just putting it on like a regular chapstick. Next, I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Mini Duo Brow Angled Brush. It's the number 7 brush, and as you can see, it's busted. I'm also going to take this same brand of the Brow Powder Duo in the shade Granite. I'm going to take the lighter shade of the Brow Powder Duo for the front portion of my brows and the darker shade for the second portion of my brows, which is more towards the end and the tail. I feel like my brows take me the longest, but they're probably the most important thing on my face, and I think that your brows pull together every single look. So for me, I cannot go without brows, and most of the time for work, I don't wear any makeup at all, so I will only use brow products. I'm going to show just one of my brows for this get ready with me, and I'll fast forward through the rest of it. As you can see, brow powder makes such a huge difference for me, and I still think it looks very natural. Next, I'm going to take the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel, which is a clear brow gel, and just run that through both of my brows. It kind of looks like mascara, but of course it is clear, and this will definitely set your brows for the entire day. They will not budge, I promise you. I'm going to be using two different primers, and the first one is by Too Faced. It is the Hangover RX primer. I really like this one because it has coconut and it is super moisturizing, almost like a moisturizer. So I'm going to put this everywhere on my face except for my nose. The reason for this is because being that I already have moisturizer on my face, I'm going to want to use something else on my nose because that is where I mostly get oily. For my nose, I'm going to use the NYX Pore Filler, which is almost like, I would say, the Benefit Cosmetics Professional, but for a very small fraction of the price. So I'm going to put this all over my nose, and instead of rubbing it everywhere, which kind of looks like what I'm doing, I'm going to press it into my nose as well as my forehead and other places where I feel like I could use it. Now I'm taking the Tarte Shape Tape Contour Concealer in the shade Light Medium. This is the most perfect concealer in the entire world. It is so freaking flawless and full coverage, and let me tell you, that is the biggest doe foot applicator I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm going to put this concealer underneath my eyes as well as in my tear ducts, and both of these areas are usually where I get the darkest, as in dark circles. So I'm just going to put that there, as well as around my nostrils where I also get red throughout the day. To blend the concealer into my skin, I'm going to be using the Original Damp Beauty Blender, and I'm going to squeeze that beauty blender to really get that point inside to get into all those little small crevices, especially on my nostrils and around my tear duct area. I'm also going to press this on top of my eyelid because I do get some red veiny areas right there. And I want to make sure to press this into my skin versus smearing this because that's going to give me fuller coverage. To set that concealer so it doesn't crease, I'm going to use my Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, and I'm also going to be using that same damp beauty blender by just dipping the beauty blender into the loose powder and then pressing that onto all of the areas of my face where I used concealer. I didn't do anything additional to this beauty blender. I didn't wet it anymore. all I did was make sure to do this right after my concealer. So you're going to see that I'm going to press it right onto all those areas, like I said, where I put the concealer. And generally, people might call this baking or cooking, but in this instance, I am just pressing it into those areas, and you will see that I will use the opposite end of the Beauty Blender, which I like to call the butt of the Beauty Blender, and just soak up all of that powder so that I'm not baking or cooking, I'm just setting it so it doesn't crease throughout the day. For foundation today, I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Lock-It Powder Foundation in the shade Medium 52. I love this foundation so much. It is my holy grail. Seriously, if you haven't tried it, try it. I'm going to be using the Morphe Brushes G5 Pointed Powder Brush, which is part of the Gunmetal collection. And I'm going to use this by pressing it into the powder, then knocking off any excess powder, and then pressing that powder into my skin. By pressing it into my skin, I'm going to get more of a full coverage look, and it's going to look flawless, but it's not going to look cakey. After I press it into my skin, I'm going to swirl it in circular motions to make sure that it blends nicely, and I'm always going to drag it down my neck so that I don't have a harsh line and look like I'm wearing a mask. Next, I'm going to use my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, using those bottom two shades in the contour shades, and using that to not only contour my nose, but as well as my cheeks. The first brush is the Luxie brush in collaboration with the amazing JD 180, and I believe this is the 182 Nose Perfector brush, and this basically slays my nose and looks like I have rhinoplasty. Not that I have a large nose, but it slays. Then I'm going to use the Morphe Brushes M523, the most perfect contour brush. And I'm going to use those same shades, like I said, to chisel the fuck out of my cheeks. I'm just kidding. I'm not really going to chisel them that bad. Just a slight chisel, you know, a daytime look that's appropriate for being a social worker. I don't know if that exists, but I'm going to try it. I'm also going to use that same brush and those same shades to slightly contour my temples as well. Next, I'm going to be taking another brush in collaboration with JD 180. I believe this is called the Chiseler, and I'm just taking those top two shades and using those to really highlight my face in the places that light naturally hits, so underneath my eyes as well as in between my brows and forehead. I'm going to take a Milani powder blush in the shade 05 Luminoso, as well as a Sigma Beauty F10 powder blush, that was wrong, and just put that color on the apples of my cheeks and just swirl in circular motions and smile like I'm such a nice person. Next, I'm going to take the Too Faced Sweetheart Bronzer in Sweet Tea and a Sigma Beauty large brush, I believe that was a F20, swirl it all around and then bronze my face somewhat in the same areas that I contoured, but pretty much in the perimeters of my face. This is just kind of bringing back color after I made it all one shade. Now that I'm almost done with my face, I'm going to take the Sigma Beauty Dual Fiber F50 brush to just blend everything all together on my face so that there are no harsh lines whatsoever. Again, I'm going to take that same Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and a Morphe E27 blending brush for my eyes and just mix those bottom two shades, the first two that is, and just blend into my crease as well as that outer V. And I'm not doing really an eye look. I just want to give some kind of color and depth as well as somewhat of eye contouring to my face so that my eyes don't look extremely plain. Then I'm going to take the Tarte eyelash curler and just curl my eyelashes like anyone else would. I'm just preparing them for mascara. For my top lashes, I am using the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes, and I got this during their 21 Days of Beauty, I believe it's called, and it was $10. So just running that through my top lashes and trying to flick my lashes as well as wiggle to get the most volume. Then I'm going to take the Rimmel London Lash Accelerator and use that for my bottom lashes. I like this mascara for my bottom lashes because supposedly it has some kind of vitamin complex in it that makes your bottom lashes grow. well, not necessarily your bottom lashes, but I feel like that's where I need help in the lash area. So just coating my bottom lashes so that they pop. Next, I'm taking the Artist Couture Diamond Glow Powder in Illuminati, and this is Orgasmic. This is by Mac Daddy, also known as Angel, on Instagram, and it is beautiful. I'm going to take my Morphe M501 brush and use that to highlight. But first, this is a really good trick. I'm going to take my MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus and just drench my face. As you can see, I'm preparing myself. Whew. Just going to, like I said, drench myself and then somewhat fan my face. And what I'm going to do is let that almost dry. And once I feel that it is about to dry, I'm going to put on my highlighter. And that is going to make it pop even more than it already would. While I'm waiting for that Fix Plus to almost dry, I'm going to use the Too Faced Melted Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Sellout, which is my favorite liquid lipstick formula and color. I think it looks very similar to my lip color already naturally, but just that much better. Because I have very small and thin lips, I like to just slightly overdraw them with the tip of the applicator. Now I'm finally going to take that brush and just slay the hell out of my face with that beautiful highlight. I basically want to blind every bitch that crosses my path, especially because it's my birthday. Ooh, oh my gosh, I just can't handle it. I'm going to put it all over where, again, light would naturally hit. So the tops of my cheekbones as well as my tear ducts. I'm also going to put it on my Cupid's bow, which are the two lines beneath your nostrils, as well as that dip in the middle of your top lip. And if I mess up, which I did, I just get my lipstick and run it right over it. Sometimes I'll also put the highlighter on the bridge of my nose and the tip of my nose, but not today. To completely finish this look, I'm going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray and just, again, drench my face because I do not want this to leave until I'm absolutely ready. I really hope you like this look, which I think is realistic for every day. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already. All the products will be mentioned below, and I'll see you soon. Bye.